My domineering wife, to force you to sign the divorce papers, whipped you across the head with her belt. Unexpectedly, this blow awakened memories sealed for 2 years. Rubbing your reddened forehead, you suddenly burst out laughing. Liu Ruyan. Who do you think you married? She frowned, looking at you as if you were a lunatic. You signed the divorce agreement right in front of her, then turned around to dial a number you hadn't touched in 2 years. An impatient female voice came from the other end. Hello, who is this? You said only one word, me. As soon as you spoke, the woman on the phone snapped. Are you out of your mind? How should I know who you are? You gave a soft smile, your voice cold as ice. Chu Youyu, have I lost my edge? Or have you become too arrogant? There was a sudden silence on the other end. A second later, an excited girl's voice came through. Xiao Fan, you gave a faint The woman's voice instantly turned aggrieved. You disappeared for 2 years. I thought you ran off with some random woman. You interrupted her directly. I've sent you my location. Come pick me up. Early the next morning, a diamond-encrusted Ferrari stopped in front of you. A silver-haired beauty rushed toward you with a bear hug. Baby. But you pushed her away heartlessly, and got straight into the car. Chu Youyu stomped her foot aggrievedly. Heartless man. I flew in from England overnight, and this is how you treat me? You couldn't be bothered with her. You've been a punching bag for long enough these past 2 years. Now it's time to find the culprit who caused your amnesia. However, 2 days later, Liu Ruyan returned to the villa, exhausted from travel. She thought she had found a lead on her white Moonlight, a chi, but it turned out to be another dead end. Then, the servant handed over the signed divorce agreement. The master left with nothing. He took nothing with him. Liu Ruyan sneered on the spot. Leaving with nothing. This man only knows how to play the victim for sympathy. She was certain you wouldn't last 2 days before starving on the streets. She immediately ordered, process the divorce immediately. But just as she finished, the assistant rushed in. Ms. Liu, Liu Ruyan frowned deeply. Has he come back again? But the assistant shook his head. No. The master was photographed entering and leaving a hotel with Chu Youyu, daughter of the richest man in the UK. They didn't leave all night. Liu Ruyan's face instantly turned as dark as a pot bottom. Meanwhile, at the top luxury club in Jing City, a row of beautiful women stood before you. Fearing you'd be bored, Chu Youyu specifically called them to keep you company. Swirling your wine glass, you looked at the young models with great satisfaction. As expected of the biggest money pit in Jing City, the beauty and figures of the women here were one better than the other. Not at all inferior to that bitch Liu Ruyan. She could divorce you for her white Moonlight. So why couldn't you come out and find women? Have a drink with me, big brother. If we have a good time, I'll take care of you. Hearing this, the model immediately poured you a drink, and leaned closer to you. Hey, handsome, this drink is for you. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan was drinking with Wang Kurson in a private room upstairs. After a few rounds of drinks, Wang Kurson suddenly spoke up. You've searched for so many years. It's time to let go. Liu Ruyan had searched for the man named Chi for 5 years, even posting a $3 billion bounty on the dark web. But to this day, there was still no trace of him. She knew Liu Ruyan's capabilities. If she still hadn't found him after all these years, Chi was most likely no longer in this world. It's just that Wang Kurson didn't dare say this to her face. Liu Ruyan didn't speak, draining the wine in her glass in one gulp. Her dark eyes were like a bottomless frozen pond. Knowing her temper, Wang Kurson didn't push further, and changed the subject. Is Chen Fan really willing to divorce you? Everyone knew that after being saved by Liu Ruyan 2 years ago, he fell in love at first sight. He pestered her every day, wanting to give himself to her. Later, to deal with her family's pressure to marry, Liu Ruyan registered her marriage with him. He went to every length to please her, longing to offer his own heart on a platter. You loved Liu Ruyan so much. How could you divorce her so easily? Thinking of the hotel incident with Chu Youyu, Liu Ruyan's expression instantly darkened. Just then, Wang Kurson pointed strangely toward the lobby downstairs. Why does that man in the white shirt downstairs look so much like Chen Fan? Wang Kurson rubbed her eyes again. That's not right. Chen Fan couldn't possibly be this handsome. Liu Ruyan narrowed her eyes and looked in the direction she was pointing. In the VIP booth of the first-floor lobby, a dozen young, beautiful women were gathered around a handsome man in a shirt. You sat on the sofa, your long legs casually resting on the edge of the coffee table, slowly swirling the red wine in your glass. A woman refilled your glass, and you tilted your chin slightly, giving her a charming smile, like a seductive demon. Looking at you downstairs, Liu Ruyan's heart skipped a beat. It really is him. Damn, it really is Chen Fan. Wang Kurson double-checked to make sure she had the right person. Her eyes nearly popped out of her head in shock. Hiring so many female models. His appetite is truly extraordinary. Liu Ruyan looked at you, her dark eyes cold to the extreme. Being photographed entering and leaving a hotel with Chu Youyu is one thing, but to brazenly come to a club to fool around with random women. You were hitting it off with a group of young models. Suddenly, you keenly sensed a sharp gaze staring at you. You turned your head and saw a familiar figure walking toward you. A playful smirk curled on your lips. Liu Ruyan walked through the crowd and stopped in front of you. As soon as the divorce agreement was signed, you're out here fooling around. Chen Fan, are you really that insatiable? You leaned back on the sofa with an indifferent smile. Life is short, so of course I should enjoy it while I can. Liu Ruyan stared down at you. Her face was gloomy. Wang Kurson, behind her, whispered. Could Chen Fan have gone crazy after being dumped by you? You stretched out your arms, resting them on the shoulders of the models on either side. Your smile became even more charming. Sister Wang is joking. Long-legged mature women, gentle sweethearts, cute Lolitas. Aren't they wonderful? Why should I give up the whole forest for one bitch? Wang Kurson was shocked. You actually called Liu Ruyan a bitch. Is this still the Chen Fan she knew? Liu Ruyan stared at you with women on both arms, her expression turning hideous. At this moment, you were completely different from the timid person who used to just swallow his anger, a complete coward. What? Does Liu Ruyan also think I said something wrong? You met her gaze, a hint of provocation flashing in your eyes. Seeing the other model standing aside, you beckoned with your finger, a flirtatious smile on your face. Why are you standing so far away? Come over and pour me a drink. Just as a few models were about to sit down, a sharp gaze suddenly shot over. Liu Ruyan growled. Get out. The models were so scared their legs went weak. They immediately beat a hasty retreat. The Liu family's Liu Ruyan, the living Yama of Jing City, ruthless and cold. If you offend her, your life is at risk. You glanced at Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan, may heaven strike down those who ruin good things. Liu Ruyan clenched her fists, veins popping on her forehead. Chen Fan, we aren't officially divorced yet. Now, divorce requires a 1-month cooling-off period, which means we can only officially process the divorce certificate in a month. You let out a cold laugh. Liu Ruyan, don't tell me you want to crawl back to me. Even if you want to, it'll only happen if I agree. Liu Ruyan said disdainfully. You're overthinking it. You poured yourself a drink and looked at her coldly. That's for the best. Liu Ruyan stared at the wicked, arrogant, and conceited you before her, not understanding where exactly things went wrong. 2 days ago, you were still shamelessly begging not to divorce. Now you seem like a completely different person. What is your relationship with Chu Youyu? You raised an eyebrow. My business doesn't need to be explained to an ex-wife like you. Ex-wife? Chu Youyu's shocked and aggrieved voice sounded. She stood not far away, pointing at Liu Ruyan. Xiao Fan, you actually married some random woman behind my back. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan's eyes clouded with anger. The atmosphere around her dropped significantly. You swept a gaze filled with hidden killing intent over her. Chu Youyu immediately shut up and made a gesture of sealing her lips. Liu Ruyan, a qualified ex should be like their dead. Understand? Chen Fan, Liu Ruyan wanted to yell, but you couldn't be bothered with her. You called to Chu Youyu. Let's go. Let's change venues and continue. Chu Youyu immediately followed like a loyal puppy. I know a private club. The models there are even better than here. They have them from every country. Liu Ruyan stared at your departing back, a thought suddenly popping into her mind. How could Chen Fan know this English woman, Chu Youyu? And their relationship seemed quite close. 2 years ago, you were injured and lost your memory, remembering nothing. And for these 2 years, you've lived in her private villa, and didn't go out to work. It's impossible for you to know this English woman, Chu Youyu. Liu Ruyan's eyes flickered. Unless they knew each other before. Wang Kurson, investigate Chu Youyu thoroughly for me. I want to know everything about her and Chen Fan. She paused and added. Also, check Chen Fan's background. Wang Kurson responded and teased. Why do I feel like you're the one who got dumped? Along the way, Chu Youyu chattered incessantly, asking about your relationship with Liu Ruyan. Unable to handle it, you explained casually. 2 years ago, she saved my life, so I gave myself to her in gratitude. Now her first love has been found. And so, we divorced. Chu Youyu looked at you in disbelief. He saved your life. You've always been the one saving others. To think there was actually a time someone saved you. You nodded. Someone hired assassins from Sea Shark to hunt me down. Chu Youyu's expression changed. Sea Shark is a notorious assassin organization in East Asia. Their style is arrogant and overbearing. They are ruthless characters who value money over their own lives. As long as the pay is right, they dare to do anything. A dark glint flashed in your eyes as you recalled the danger in the tropical jungle 2 years ago. Who on earth hired Sea Shark to try and kill me? Chu Youyu asked. Have you found out who's behind this? You shook your head. I only regained my memories 2 days ago. I haven't had time to start investigating. Chu Youyu spoke seriously. Give me 2 days. I'll check. Chu Youyu suddenly remembered something. Right. There's a bounty post for you on the dark web. The bounty has risen to $73 billion. You raised an eyebrow. $3 billion? Who's so extravagant? To want my life? Chu Youyu thought about it. Doesn't look like it. They probably want you alive. Offering such a high price to catch me. Most likely they're begging for my help to save a life. You didn't care. There are plenty of posts about me on the dark web, but almost no one dares to take the job. After returning to the hotel and washing up, you prepared to rest. Suddenly, you remembered something important. Your jade pendant was still with Liu Ruyan. When you married Liu Ruyan 2 years ago, you gave her that jade pendant as a wedding gift. At the time, you didn't know the importance of the pendant. Now that your memories are back, you regret it deeply. How could you just give away something so important? Without this pendant, things will be very inconvenient for you in the future. So you must absolutely get the pendant back. The next morning, Wang Kersen went to the Liu Corporation early to find Liu Ruyan. All the information I could find about Chen Fan is here. Liu Ruyan opened the file. There were only a few sparse lines of records inside. Just this? Wang Kersen shrugged with a helpless expression. Chen Fan's information must have been encrypted. Apart from basic info, nothing else can be found. Liu Ruyan frowned. This was something she hadn't expected at all. Ordinary people wouldn't do this. She stared at the file, a cold glint flashing in her dark eyes. Just then, Jiang Wan knocked and entered. Mr. Chen is here. Before Jiang Wan could finish, she was grabbed by the collar from behind and pulled away. The next second, you walked in with a powerful presence. Liu Ruyan looked at you. A flicker of imperceptible admiration flashed in her eyes. You were wearing a long black trench coat today, with a belted waist. Your upright posture as you walked was like a sturdy pine or cypress, a hint of dangerous temptation amidst the gloom. Chen Fan, Wang Kersen looked at you, recalling your heroic feat in the sleepless city last night. Ignoring her, you walked straight up to Liu Ruyan. Give me back my jade pendant. Liu Ruyan frowned, staring at you, whose aura was completely different from before. What jade pendant? You sneered. You knew Liu Ruyan would definitely have forgotten. You remembered when you gave her the pendant. She didn't even look at it and just tossed it on the table. When we got married, I gave you a jade pendant. Liu Ruyan thought carefully. It seemed there was such a thing. When she rescued you 2 years ago, that jade pendant was hanging around your neck. Your name was engraved on it. Liu Ruyan leaned back in her chair. You came to see me just to get that pendant back. You crossed your arms and looked at her. Otherwise what? Liu Ruyan, you don't think I'm here to beg for a reconciliation, do you? Liu Ruyan stared at you with a gloomy expression. Good. You weren't in the mood to waste words with her. You reached out your hand again. Give me my jade pendant. Liu Ruyan gave you a faint glance. Threw it away long ago. You froze. Threw it away? She actually threw away your jade pendant. Liu Ruyan was expressionless. Just because you gave it, does that mean I have to keep it? You slammed your palm on the table. Your face turned pale with rage. Liu Ruyan, where did you throw it? Liu Ruyan remained expressionless. Forgot. You clenched your fists tightly. Your dark eyes stared intently at Liu Ruyan. An impulse to kill welled up in your heart. Liu Ruyan keenly noticed the flash of murderous intent in your eyes. She only found it more interesting. In 2 years of marriage, it was the first time she had seen you this angry. The two of them just stared at each other. After a standoff, you suddenly started laughing. Liu Ruyan, I'll give you 10 days. If my jade pendant isn't found, I'll go to court to withdraw the divorce petition. During this 1-month divorce cooling-off period, as long as one party disagrees, they can withdraw it at the Civil Affairs Bureau at any time. Liu Ruyan was stunned. Her face immediately darkened. She knew you wouldn't agree to the divorce easily. What jade pendant? It must be an excuse you planned long ago. This scheming man. Crossing your arms, your smile grew even brighter. As long as I don't agree to the divorce, your white Moonlight is just a low-class mistress. He loves his white Moonlight so much. How could he let her be a mistress? Liu Ruyan stared at you with cold eyes. Chen Fan, listen to me. This divorce is happening. You gave a cold smile. Then find my jade pendant as soon as possible. If it's not found, I'll make the entire Liu Corporation pay. Liu Ruyan, this is the only chance I'm giving you. After speaking, you gave her a warning glance. You turned and walked away decisively. As soon as you stepped out of the office, you saw a noble-looking man walking toward you. Xiao Jibo was stunned for a moment seeing you leave Liu Ruyan's office. Then he pointed at you and shouted angrily. Chen Fan, what are you doing here? You raised an eyebrow. Xiao Jibo, the eldest son of the Xiao family, and Liu Ruyan's admirer. Since you married Liu Ruyan, he has frequently come to cause you trouble. You replied irritably. None of your damn business. Before, to please Liu Ruyan, you restrained your temper, striving to be a qualified and sensible husband. Every time Xiao Jibo came, you endured it in silence, or avoided him whenever possible. But now, you have no intention of continuing to endure. Xiao Jibo didn't expect the usually weak and bullied you to dare speak to him like this, his face twisting in anger. Chen Fan, Miss Liu is already divorcing you. Why are you still shamelessly clinging to her? You shameless man. Dressing so deliberately, you must be trying to seduce Miss Liu. You curled your lips into a wicked smile. Mr. Xiao, Liu Ruyan and I haven't received our divorce certificate yet, so we are still legally husband and wife. Xiao Jibo arrogantly pointed at your nose. So what if you're legally married? Miss Liu doesn't love you. You rolled your eyes. Whether she likes me or not isn't important. What's important is, as long as I don't divorce, I am the rightful Mr. Liu. Xiao Jibo was so angry he wanted to smash your face. I've seen plenty of men like you, refusing to divorce, just for the money, isn't it? As Xiao Jibo spoke, he pulled a check from his pocket, and threw it in your face. Here's 1 million. Take the money and get as far away as possible. You narrowed your eyes at the arrogant Xiao Jibo, lazily picking up the check. 1 million? Then I'll leave her for 1 hour. Xiao Jibo looked at you. What do you mean, 1 hour? I want you to leave Miss Liu forever. Are you crazy? You actually think 1 million is too little? You clicked your tongue. Mr. Xiao, you have the nerve to offer a mere 1 million? With a flick of your wrist, the check flew out spinning. The edge of the paper, like a sharp blade, sliced a bloody gash across Xiao Jibo's face. Xiao Xiao Jibo covered his stinging face and looked, only to see his palm covered in blood. My face. Chen Fan, you dare slash my face. I'll kill you. With just you. You glanced down at him, radiating an overwhelming aura of dominance. 2 years ago, even the trained mad dogs in the tropical jungle couldn't kill you, let alone him. Overestimating yourself. Go to hell. Trash. Xiao Jibo was infuriated. He raised his fist and swung it at your face with all his might. However, before his hand could touch you, it was firmly gripped by you. Then came a loud, crisp snap. Xiao Jibo let out a scream like a slaughtered pig and collapsed to the ground with a thud. His right arm was twisted in a distorted position. Ah, it hurts. My hand. You looked down at the collapsed Xiao Jibo with disdain and smiled. If you still haven't learned your lesson, next time, it won't be as simple as just one hand. Just then, Liu Ruyan's furious voice came from behind. Chen Fan, what are you doing? The moment Xiao Jibo saw Liu Ruyan, it was as if he saw a savior. Miss Liu, help. Chen Fan is trying to kill me. You turned around to look at Liu Ruyan and clapped your hands. Can't you tell? I'm punishing the scum. Liu Ruyan didn't have time to waste words on you. She immediately ordered someone to take Xiao Jibo to the hospital. Then she commanded you, go to the hospital and apologize to Jibo. The Sheng and Liu families have a good relationship. They also collaborate in business. Xiao Jibo is the only child of the Xiao family, spoiled since childhood. If you hurt him, the Xiao family won't let it slide. You stared at Liu Ruyan as if she were mentally challenged. Is she even worthy? After saying that, you turned around to leave. Stop right there. Liu Ruyan grabbed your arm. A flash of sharpness crossed your eyes. You casually picked up the coffee on the reception desk and splashed it on Liu Ruyan's face. Keep your hands to yourself. Do you think I'm still that amnesiac who just took everything? That pushover of a Chen Fan? Jiang Wan, standing nearby, gasped. That's insane. So bold. He actually dared to splash coffee on Liu Ruyan. He must have some nerve. Wang Kurson almost tripped and fell. She quickly ran over with tissues. Miss Liu, are you alright? Liu Ruyan wiped the coffee stains from her face. A chilling aura emanated from her. This damned man. In her 26 years of life, this was the first time someone dared to splash coffee on her. Chen Fan, do you want to die? I can make that happen for you. Heh. You gave a disdainful laugh. Even facing such immense pressure from Liu Ruyan, you didn't show a hint of fear. Just try it, and see if I'll smash your damn head. A strange sense of danger clouded Liu Ruyan's cold, exquisite face. Don't think that just because Chu Youyu supports you, I won't dare touch you. You raised an eyebrow. I've always been the one supporting Chu Youyu. Now that someone is supporting me, are you jealous? Liu Ruyan was speechless. She didn't even like him, so why would she be jealous? She was just extremely annoyed. Chen Fan, if you're trying to play hard to get with me, I suggest you give up on that idea immediately. You rolled your eyes at her. Hard to get my ass. Do you really think you're as loved as a stack of cash? Fearing you might lose control and kill her if you stayed any longer, you immediately turned and walked away casually. Liu Ruyan's face darkened as she watched your retreating figure. Only after you left did Wang Kurson dare to approach Liu Ruyan. Is this still the same Chen Fan who loved you to death? Could he have been possessed by another soul? Liu Ruyan couldn't figure it out either. How could you change so much in just a few days? You left the Liu Corporation and returned to the hotel. Not long after, you received a call from Liu Jie. Liu Jie is Liu Ruyan's younger brother. He had just learned about your divorce from his sister. Fearing you might do something drastic, he invited you out shopping to clear your head. Liu Jie was the only person in the Liu family who was kind to you, and the only friend you had after losing your memory. You would be leaving Jing City soon. You wanted to thank him properly before leaving, so you agreed. Half an hour later, Liu Jie walked out of the boutique wearing the Nautilus watch he had wanted but could never get a slot for. His steps were unsteady and his gaze was vacant. He stiffly raised his wrist to look at it every now and then, as if he hadn't yet recovered from the massive shock. It felt like a dream. Although he usually spent money lavishly, spending 4 million on a watch was just too extravagant. Brother Fan, are you really giving this watch to me? Liu Jie looked at the watch worth a whole house, unable to believe it. You nodded. Your birthday is next month. Consider this an early birthday present. Overwhelmed with emotion, Liu Jie hugged you and cried. Brother Fan, you're the best. He paused and then asked, but where did you get so much money? When you divorced my sister, didn't you leave without a single penny or a house? And you haven't worked for the past 2 years, so you naturally shouldn't have any income. You said calmly, past savings. Liu Jie let out an oh, then suddenly realized something and stared at you with wide eyes. Brother Fan, you've regained your memory. No wonder you've been so strange these past few days. It's like you've become a completely different person. So you did get your memory back. Liu Jie stared at you with sparkling eyes. Brother Fan, you're so rich, you couldn't be the son of the richest man, could you? You were speechless. No. Just remove the son part. If he wasn't the son of the richest man, he was still a billionaire. Liu Jie immediately clung to the billionaire's leg. Oh, billionaire. Please take care of me. Throughout the afternoon, you and Liu Jie swept through every luxury boutique in the mall. After dinner, Liu Jie went home with his spoils, while you returned to the hotel. Just as you arrived at the hotel, you received a call from Liu Jie. A strange, mechanical voice came through the phone. You're Liu Jie's brother-in-law, right? You have half an hour to get to the Platinum Villa. Otherwise, you can prepare to collect Liu Jie's corpse. At that moment, inside the Platinum Villa, Liu Jie sat on the sofa with his hands tied. His mouth was also sealed with tape. 2 bodyguards in black stood on either side of her. Their eyes never left him for a second. The woman hung up the phone and looked back at the 2 bodyguards. Hurry up and untie young Master Liu. Once his hands were free, Liu Jie ripped off the tape from his mouth and jumped up. Bai Chu, are you out of your mind? You actually dare to kidnap me? The 3 great families of Jing City. Besides the Liu family, there are the Bai and Lin families. Although the Bai family isn't close to the Liu family, they still have some dealings. Young Master Liu, please don't be angry. I won't hurt you. I only invited you here to lure that man, Chen Fan. Liu Jie's heart sank. She also just found out that you scarred Xiao Jibo's face and crippled one of his hands. Bai Chu is Xiao Jibo's loyal lapdog. She kidnapped him to lure you here, definitely to avenge Xiao Jibo. Liu Jie tried to rush forward to grab the phone, but was stopped by the 2 bodyguards. Bai Chu, I'm warning you. Brother Fan and my sister aren't divorced yet. If you dare touch him, my sister won't let you off. Bai Chu sneered. Who is young Master Liu trying to scare? Who do you think you're intimidating, young Master Liu? I heard Sister Liu has no feelings for Chen Fan at all. In 2 years of marriage, Sister Liu hasn't even looked at him once. Daring to bully her idol. She must give this arrogant man a good lesson today. Liu Jie grit his teeth in rage. He grabbed a glass from the coffee table and threw it at Bai Chu. Bullshit. My sister and brother-in-law get along great, even if they didn't. If you dare touch a single hair on Brother Fan's head, my sister will skin you alive. Bai Chu dodged the flying glass and sat down on the single sofa. Young Master Liu, I wasn't born yesterday. Everyone in the circle is saying, Sister Liu treats Chen Fan like trash. How could she possibly get angry with me over Chen Fan? A fierce look flashed in Bai Chu's eyes. Chen Fan crippled one of Jibo's hands, so I'll just cripple both of Chen Fan's hands. She pointed to the other bodyguards. You guys, guard the door. When Chen Fan arrives, make him crawl in. Liu Jie was furious. He rolled up his sleeves and rushed at Bai Chu. You bastard, I'll kill you. However, before he could reach her, he was pinned down by the bodyguards. Young Master Liu, I don't want to hurt you, but if you continue to be this ungrateful, don't blame me for being ruthless. Just as Bai Chu finished speaking, a piercing screech of brakes sounded outside. Oh. He arrived quite quickly. Liu Jie was pacing anxiously. Liu Jie was pacing in circles. He prayed silently in his heart that the person coming is his sister, not Brother Fan. When he was kidnapped and put in the car, he sent a distress message to Liu Ruyan. He wondered if she had seen it. Bai Chu crossed her legs, looking toward the living room entrance. But in the next moment, the screams of bodyguards were heard from outside. Bai Chu was stunned. Could it be that the person who came wasn't her? As she was thinking, the screaming stopped, followed by the sound of sneakers stepping on the floor. As soon as Liu Jie heard those footsteps, his heart sank. It's over, it's over. It must be Brother Fan. You walked slowly into the living room against the moonlight, playing with the expandable baton you just snatched from a bodyguard. Your expression remained cold and noble. As soon as Liu Jie saw you, he shouted urgently. Brother Fan, leave quickly. Don't worry about me. They wouldn't dare do anything to me. Bai Chu snapped back to her senses. Gag him. Before she could finish, a gust of cold wind swept past. Bai Chu only felt a dark shadow flash before her eyes, followed by 2 heavy thuds. One moment Liu Jie was worrying about you. The next, he saw you effortlessly take down the 2 bodyguards pinning him. One bodyguard was hit in the head with the baton. The other was sent flying by your strike. Both crashed heavily to the ground without even a chance to scream. Seeing things go wrong, Bai Chu shouted toward the door. Help. Someone come here. If you're calling for those dozen or so people outside, I suggest you stop wasting your breath. Bai Chu gasped, looking at you in disbelief. The 20 people she brought tonight were all highly skilled professional bodyguards, yet they were dealt with so quickly by you. They didn't even last 10 minutes. How are your skills so formidable? Hasn't the circle always rumored that you're a loser? Are you fucking playing the pig to eat the tiger? Your face held no expression other than coldness. Your dark eyes brimming with murderous intent. You dare touch my people? You have a death wish. Bai Chu felt numb under your gaze. The overwhelming aura from you making her almost unable to breathe. No, I can't hesitate. If she couldn't avenge Jibo, how could she ever face him again? Why fear a loser? Bai Chu summoned her courage and said, Chen Fan, you scarred Jibo's face and hand. Now disfigure yourself and cripple your own hands. I'll let you go. Your lips curl into a wicked, unrestrained smile. That's the funniest joke I've heard so far. Liu Jie hurriedly grabs your hand. Brother Fan, let's go. Ignore him. You toy with the bloody expandable baton in your hand. Since I'm already here, wouldn't it be too boring to just leave? As you speak, the baton in your hand spins out. Bai Chu has no time to dodge. The baton slams hard into his face. The pain makes his whole body tremble. You walk up to him without a word, and sit down on the single sofa. You stare mockingly at the trembling Bai Chu as he stands up. Kneel now. The powerful aura around you is like a general commanding a vast army. Bai Chu stares at you in terror. With a thud, he kneels straight before you. Liu Jie's mouth drops in shock. Holy shit, almost escapes his lips. Bai Chu, this second-generation rich kid, relies on his grandfather in politics to be arrogant and overbearing. In all of Jing City, except for his sister, Bai Chu has never feared anyone. Who would have thought he'd be put in his place by you today? You raise an eyebrow calmly. Do you still want these hands of yours? No. I don't want them anymore. Bai Chu shivers, terrified by the murderous intent in your eyes. If he had known you were this formidable, even with 10 times the courage, he wouldn't dare provoke you. Do you still dare to kidnap my people? Bai Chu shakes his head, his face covered in blood. I don't dare. I'll never dare again. Liu Jie looks at you with eyes full of admiration. He practically wants to call you legendary. Wow, so cool, so badass, so handsome. Oh my god. You nod and look at Liu Jie. Liu Jie, go wait for me outside. Liu Jie feels as if sparks are burning in your eyes. He glances at Bai Chu kneeling on the floor and nods. Alright then. Liu Jie walks out of the living room. The next moment, he hears Bai Chu's scream from inside. Liu Jie is quite shaken by the scream. Just as he's about to go back to check, he sees you walking out. Brother Fan. You look at Liu Jie. Are you okay? I'm fine. Liu shakes his head. He's relieved to see you have no injuries. Brother Fan, you didn't. Bai Chu. Liu Jie looks at the living room and makes a throat-slitting gesture. You say calmly, I didn't kill him tonight. He doesn't deserve to die by my hand. Liu follows you out of the courtyard. He sees a dozen bodyguards lying scattered on the ground. These were all taken down by Brother Fan. He looks at you with full admiration. He gives you a thumbs up. Brother Fan, what kind of flattery do you prefer? I'll shower you with it. You smile brightly. Just as you're about to speak, you see a Maybach and a Bentley driving towards you. It's my sister. Liu Jie recognizes one of the cars and jumps up, shouting, Sis, I'm over here. Both cars stop in front of you at the same time. Then, the door of the Maybach opens. Liu Ruyan, slender, tall, and elegant, steps out. Her features are delicate yet cold. Her snow-white face carries a sharpness that keeps people at a distance. Liu Ruyan glances at Liu Jie, who is as cheerful as a kangaroo. He doesn't look like someone who was just bullied at all. She turns her gaze toward you. Why are you here? You give a devilish smile. Someone called me, saying if I didn't come, I should prepare to collect Liu Jie's body. Liu Jie pulls Liu Ruyan's arm. Sis, you really have to thank brother-in-law. If he hadn't arrived in time to save me, I'd be in danger today. You say calmly, no need for thanks. They were coming for me in the first place. Just as you finish speaking, the person from the Bentley steps out. The woman looks to be about the same age as Liu Ruyan. Her features are exquisite. A pair of thin-rimmed glasses rests on her nose. Her aura is professional and rigorous, exuding a cold, impersonal, elite vibe. Bai Ningbing looks at Liu Jie and you, nodding slightly. My apologies to young Master Liu and Mr. Liu for the fright. Liu Jie snorts coldly. Born from the same father, this sister, Bai Ningbing, looks much better than Bai Chu. Bai Ningbing glances at the unconscious bodyguards at the door and says coldly, tell that useless girl to get out here. This ignorant fool actually dared to kidnap Liu Ruyan's brother, and even tried to harm his husband. She's practically begging for death. Bai Ningbing's assistant acknowledges her, and rushes into the house. Soon he ran out again. Eldest miss, second miss, she. Bai Ningbing's expression changed slightly. What happened to her? Second miss's left pinky finger was cut off. She has already fainted. Bai Ningbing's face changed. Liu Ruyan was also stunned. Subconsciously looking at you, you cut off Bai Chu's finger. Bai Ningbing looked at you. Did you do it? You answered with an arrogant tone. Yes, I did it. Cutting off one finger is already being lenient. Liu Jie looked at you in shock. Brother Fan actually cut off one of Bai Chu's pinkies. No wonder Brother Fan let her come out first. He didn't want to scare her, right? How can Brother Fan be so warm-hearted? Bai Ningbing clenched her fists and stared at you. She hadn't met you before today, but she had heard some rumors. Everyone said Liu Ruyan's husband was a coward, submissive and passive, completely unremarkable. But now this coward cut off her sister's finger. Mr. Liu, you interrupted Bai Ningbing directly. Please call me Mr. Chen. You glanced at Liu Ruyan and emphasized, I have no relationship with her now. Liu Ruyan gritted her teeth hard. Her ink-black eyes were gradually covered by a layer of frost. This man wants to distance himself from her that much. Liu Jie looked at his own sister. Didn't she force Brother Fan to divorce? Why does it seem like she's the one being dumped now? Baffling. You rolled your eyes at Liu Ruyan. No interest in entangling with them further. You spoke indifferently. Ms. Bai, if you want to avenge your sister, I'm ready anytime. You paused and added with a smile. A kind reminder. You'd better bring more people. Bai Ningbing frowned. This man is truly beyond arrogant. After speaking, you got into the sports car parked by the road. With a roar of the engine, the car sped away like an arrow. Hey, Brother Fan. By the time Liu Jie reacted, he only saw the red taillights fading away. Liu Jia was so excited he almost jumped. Sis, let me tell you, Brother Fan was absolutely stunning tonight. He defeated all of Bai Chuchu's bodyguards single-handedly. Liu Ruyan stared in the direction you left. Her ink-like eyes were gradually covered by an inscrutable mystery. Bai Ningbing recalled your domineering and unrestrained manner. A bit of interest arose in her heart. Not only did he cut off her sister's finger, but he also dealt with so many bodyguards without a scratch. Not simple at all. Sister Liu, your ex-husband really makes me see him in a new light. Before Liu Ruyan could speak, Liu Jia said, Bai Ningbing, don't you dare have designs on my brother-in-law. He and my sister haven't received their divorce certificate yet. Bai Ningbing smiled ambiguously. Then when Sister Liu and Mr. Chen get their divorce certificate, I'll pursue him. Anger instantly flared in Liu Ruyan's eyes. You dare? She actually wants to pursue Chen Fan. Bai Ningbing was just joking. However, seeing Liu Ruyan's reaction, her interest grew even more. Sister Liu is joking. Anyway, you and Mr. Chen are getting divorced. My pursuing him has nothing to do with you, right? If you want to try. Liu Ruyan's gaze was full of warning. She paused and warned again. Keep your sister in check. Next time, it won't be just one finger he cuts off. Bai Ningbing nodded. The Bai family was in the wrong tonight. Even if you hadn't acted, Liu Ruyan wouldn't have let Bai Chuchu off easily. Cutting off a finger. Consider it a lesson for her. Let's see if she dares to be so lawless in the future. After Liu Ruyan finished her warning with a grim face, she took Liu Jia and left in the car. Once in the car, Liu Jia talked incessantly. That Bai Ningbing actually wants to steal your man. Although her face is decent, she's still lacking compared to you. Brother Fan definitely wouldn't like her. Sis, why don't you reconsider the divorce? Brother Fan is really a great guy. He has regained his memory now. Rich, handsome, and fit. And his skills are so cool. What did you say? Liu Ruyan looked at Liu Jia in surprise. Chen Fan regained his memory? Liu Jia nodded. Yeah. Liu Ruyan narrowed her eyes and clenched her fists. No wonder Chen Fan changed so suddenly. So he regained his memory. Liu Ruyan suddenly became curious. The gentle and obedient you during those 2 years of memory loss. And the cold and domineering you now. Which one is your true self? Liu Jia looked at her dissatisfiedly. Let me tell you, a man as good as Brother Fan is 1 in a million. If you don't win him back now, it'll be too late once the divorce is final. Don't say I didn't warn you. You'll suffer when you're desperately trying to win him back. Liu Ruyan remained silent. A flicker passed through her deep eyes. A slight smile curled on her thin lips. You returned to the hotel. As you entered the room, Chu Youyu excitedly held up her laptop. Xiao Fan, I found it. Who is it? Chu Youyu. I investigated Sea Shark's transaction details from 2 years ago, and found a document with your name on it. It only contained one bank account number. Based on this account number, she found out who tried to kill you 2 years ago. Chu Youyu didn't say a word. She simply handed the tablet to you. Your expression changed the moment you looked at it. The Chen family of Jincheng. The people who hired assassins to hunt you 2 years ago were actually your own family. You couldn't believe it. You were about to call your grandfather to get some answers. Suddenly, a news window popped up on the screen. Jincheng's top heir, Chen Yu, and the eldest daughter of the Hua family are tying the knot. The wedding date has been set. Below the headline was their wedding photo. You stared at the photo, your mind going blank. Chen Yu, your cousin, Hua Xingyue, the fiancé you were engaged to 5 years ago. They are actually getting married. You were absolutely furious. Do they think I'm dead? You immediately searched online, and discovered 2 even more shocking things. First, the Chen family announced your death 2 years ago. They even held a funeral for you. Second, your grandfather was so heartbroken over your death. He suffered a stroke and became paralyzed. You realized it instantly. Grandpa was the only one in the family who knew what you were truly capable of. Unless he saw your body with his own eyes, he would never believe you were dead. This can only mean one thing. Your gaze returned to that bank account number. Your parents passed away early. Grandpa raised you as the heir from a young age. If you were dead, who would stand to gain the most? In an instant, you gave the order. Pack your things. I'm returning to Jincheng tomorrow. The next day, on the plane, you hadn't slept well the night before. You put on an eye mask to catch up on sleep as soon as you boarded. When you woke up, a familiar voice sounded beside you. Chen Fan. You turned your head, and there was Liu Ruyan's face, right in front of you. Fuck. You grit your teeth, wanting to curse. Before the divorce, seeing her was nearly impossible. Now, you seem to bump into her everywhere. She asked you with a completely expressionless face. Did Xiao Jia tell you I was going to Jincheng on business? You frowned instantly. You think I'm stalking you? Isn't that so? You rolled your eyes. Liu Ruyan, please have some dignity. Then, Chu Youyu took off her eye mask from the other side. She looked furious. Liu Ruyan ignored her and questioned you instead. What are you doing in Jincheng? Chu Youyu immediately snapped back. As an ex-wife, what right do you have to pry into Xiao Fan's business? Liu Ruyan's gaze turned cold. Chen Fan and I haven't officially received our divorce papers yet. Chu Youyu sneered. Don't you already have your white moonlight? Why are you still clinging to my Xiao Fan? You slut. At the mention of the white moonlight, Liu Ruyan's expression instantly darkened. Just then, a commotion broke out at the back of the cabin. Hijack. Nobody move. Anyone who moves gets shot. You watched the hijackers storm into first class, feeling beyond irritated. Dealing with that woman Liu Ruyan was bad enough, but now a hijacking too? I really want to kill someone. There were 6 hijackers in total, all armed. The leader took one man to the cockpit. The other 4 stayed to guard the passengers. You were calculating how to deal with these scrubs, but a second later, a cool hand gripped your wrist. Don't do anything reckless. Liu Ruyan actually pulled you behind her, trying to keep you out of sight. She lowered her voice. Be good. Now is not the time to show off. Just listen to me. I won't. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot the nearest hijacker. You violently shake off Liu Ruyan's hand. Then, you swing your hand and slap her across the face. You heartless woman. Even at a time like this, you're still thinking about that little puppy. Do you have any conscience toward me? Liu Ruyan freezes completely. Her face stings with pain. As expected, the noise immediately attracts a hijacker. He walks over with his gun raised. What are you doing? What's going on? You pretend to cry while covering your face. Just as he is one step away, you suddenly pounce on him. He tries to pull the trigger, but finds the safety catch held down firmly by you. In a flash, you disarm him, and knock him unconscious with a single strike. Meanwhile, another hijacker aims his gun at you, but before he can pull the trigger, he's shot in the head. Without wasting a second, you rush toward the cockpit amidst the passengers' screams. Liu Ruyan and Chu Youyu follow closely behind. But just as you reach the door, a cold gun barrel is pressed firmly against your forehead. Don't move. The hijacker grabs your gun and aims it at Liu Ruyan and Chu Youyu. Stop right there. Throw the gun over here, or I'll kill him. Liu Ruyan looks at you, held at gunpoint. Her expression changes instantly, but just as she is about to put down her gun, you suddenly move like a phantom, and seize the hijacker's wrist. Liu Ruyan seizes the opportunity, and shoots the hijacker in the temple. You grab the gun from the floor and rush into the cockpit. Gunshots ring out again. By the time Liu Ruyan rushes in, you are standing unscathed before the instrument panel. The leader of the hijackers lies at your feet. Expressionless, you help the injured captain out. The captain needs immediate treatment. Ask if there's a doctor on board. Liu Ruyan calls for the flight attendants, but when she turns around, she sees you sitting in the pilot's seat. She is completely stunned. Chen Fan, you can fly a plane? You glance at her. I can. More than just can. I used to fly fighter jets. 3 hours later, the plane lands safely. The first thing you do is hack the plane's surveillance, and delete all footage of yourself. Before you can even leave the airport, Liu Ruyan blocks your path. Chen Fan, let's talk. She stares at you with a complex expression, her eyes filled with shock. But you refuse outright. After speaking, you pick up your suitcase to leave. Chen Fan, Liu Ruyan grabs you, and pins you firmly against the wall. You think you can just walk away after hitting me? You stare at her coldly. You want to hit me back. To be honest, that slap felt great. You even deliberately tilt your face up to provoke her. Are you going to hit me or not? If not, let go. Staring at you, Liu Ruyan's heart seems to skip a beat. The next second, she raises her hand. You think she's really going to hit you, raising your hand to block. To your surprise, she grabs both your hands and pins them above your head, looking into your angry eyes. She is actually in a great mood. Liu Ruyan, are you crazy? You push her away forcefully and wipe your mouth with the back of your hand in disgust. She wipes away the blood from her lips. Now we're even. You curse in anger. You damn woman. She calmly asks again. Chen Fan, tell me, what are you doing in Jincheng? None of your business. Just then, the phone in your pocket keeps vibrating. You take it out and see a message. Heir Chu Youyu is waiting for you outside the airport. You frown. Chu Youyu is a foreign national. Her net worth is quite staggering. The next second, Heir and Chu Youyu rush in, personally helping you with your luggage. Xiao Fan, get in the car. You get in the car and shut the door with a thud, leaving only one sentence. Liu Ruyan, stop pestering me. After dinner, you head to the Chen residence under the cover of night. Years ago, as soon as you came of age, you were called back for an arranged marriage with the Hua family. The engagement party was incredibly high profile. The next day, the Hua family's stocks rose by 5 points, but none of them know you've returned. You skillfully climb over the wall, parking your car across the street from the back gate. To your surprise, all the bodyguards at the Chen residence have been replaced. Security is much tighter than before. You quietly make your way to the small building where your grandfather lives. You search around but can't find him. He's not home recovering from his stroke. Could he have been sent to a nursing home by my second uncle? Since you can't find him, you decide not to stay. However, while going downstairs, you accidentally alert the guards. Instantly, the alarms of the Chen residence pierce the night sky. More and more bodyguards come rushing in. You rushed up to the 3rd floor in a panic. You bumped into a handsome guy. Without a word, you knocked him out with one strike. You turned and rushed into a guest room, planning to jump from the balcony. But as soon as you entered, a sudden presence hit you. Someone was in the room. You quickly shut the door behind you. Turning around, you saw Liu Ruyan. Why is she here? Her face was full of astonishment, but the footsteps outside were getting closer. You had no time to explain. You quickly ducked into the bathroom. The door closed. Just as the door closed, the guest room door was knocked. You gripped the door handle, listening alertly to the movement outside. Luckily, Liu Ruyan said, "No one's here," and sent them away. I guess she has a bit of a conscience. Come out, she said after the bodyguards left. Her cold voice came from outside. You walked out, and heard her question you, why are you here? You raised an eyebrow and smirked. That's my question, Liu Ruyan. Why are you in my house? Your house? Liu Ruyan was completely stunned. You're actually a member of the Chen family? Otherwise, whose house would it be? You saw a glass of juice on the table. You picked it up and took a sip. Her gaze was inscrutable. The Chen family doesn't seem to have anyone named Chen Fan. You put down the empty glass. Whether there is or not, you'll find out soon. You didn't want to say more. You turned to check the situation by the window. But after just 2 steps, your legs suddenly went weak. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan thought you were injured. She rushed forward to support you. You lifted your head. You looked up. An unnatural flush crept onto your cheeks. So hot. At that moment, you saw Liu Ruyan freeze, her gaze fixed intently on the juice you had just drunk. Damn it. This man actually dared to drug me. So hot, so uncomfortable. You tugged randomly at your collar. Your last shred of reason was incinerated by the raging fire. In the middle of the night, you opened your eyes, and saw Liu Ruyan lying beside you. Seeing Liu Ruyan's eyelids flutter, she was about to wake up. You gritted your teeth. With lightning speed, you delivered a knife-hand strike to her neck. Just as Liu Ruyan opened her eyes, she was knocked unconscious by you. Not long after you left, Liu Ruyan woke up, rubbing her aching neck. A flash of anger crossed her eyes. That damn man. He slept with me and then dared to knock me out. The phone rang twice in a row. She found a message from you. She opened it. Her gaze instantly turned ice cold. You transferred 9.9 to her. Bad review. Liu Ruyan looked at the 9.9 transfer. A chilling aura emanated from her. This damn man, what does he take me for? And this review is an absolute humiliation. Chen Fan, you'd better not let me catch you. Liu Ruyan remembered the drugged juice. A murderous glint flashed in her eyes. He actually dared to target me. How very bold of him. You drove to a nursing home in the suburbs, finding that your grandfather had been secretly placed there. Chen Yu's cold voice echoed in the ward. He was actually holding your grandfather's hand, forcing a thumbprint onto the document. Heh. With this, once I marry Sister Xingyue, I will be the sole heir of the Chen family. Chen Yu looked at the unconscious grandfather on the bed, and sneered. Grandfather, you should have chosen my father as the heir, not Chen Li. You were too biased. What did it matter that you spent so much effort raising him? He still ended up dead at our hands. Blame yourself. Not only did you want him to be the heir, but you also wanted to betroth my beloved sister Xingyue to him. I will never allow that. You stood outside the door. Your whole body felt cold. Murderous intent surged wildly in your eyes. A moment later, Chen Yu came out, talking on the phone as he walked. The suit has arrived. Okay, I'm coming now. You looked at his retreating figure. Your gaze was as cold as a knife. Their wedding is in 3 days. I will definitely prepare for them. A gift they will never forget for the rest of their lives. You immediately entered the ward. Your once healthy grandfather was now skin and bones. His face was sallow, looking as if his life was flickering out. You reached out to check his pulse. Your suspicion was instantly confirmed. Grandfather hadn't suffered a stroke at all. He had been poisoned. That scum Chen Rend even dared to harm his own father. Suppressing your anger, immediately sent a message to Chu Youyu to arrange a rescue. Then, you took a pill out of your pocket, and fed it to Grandpa. By nightfall, under Chu Youyu's arrangement, the entire floor was filled with her own people. You intentionally broke the heart monitor, to create the illusion of critical condition, and pushed Grandpa into the operating room. The plan was to take him out through another exit. Just as you had left, the bodyguards noticed something was wrong, and rushed straight in. To avoid harming Grandpa, you had Chu Youyu escort him out first, while you stayed behind to cover the retreat. But these bodyguards were all skilled, and were even armed with guns. During the fight, you were nearly shot twice. You dodged while running toward a car by the road. Just then, a Ferrari sped toward you. With a perfect drift, the car came to a steady stop beside you. The bullets were instantly blocked by the bulletproof body. Thinking it was Chu Youyu coming back for you, you opened the door and got in without thinking. Chen Ren certainly won't stop here. You were halfway through your sentence, when you suddenly froze. The woman in the driver's seat was actually Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan floored the accelerator. The car shot forward like an arrow from a bow, until she finally shook off the bodyguards. She turned to look at you. If not me, who did you think it was? You rubbed your nose, and asked back, how did you get here? Liu Ruyan drove, and spoke seriously. If I said I came specifically to pick you up, would you believe me, Chen Li? You frowned instantly. Your eyes filled with vigilance. How do you know Chen Li is my real name? To avoid exposing his status, you had used the alias Chen Fan abroad. Yet she knew everything. Liu Ruyan explained calmly. The time I saved you was not long after the Chen family announced Chen Li's disappearance. Plus what you said last night. It wasn't hard to guess your identity. You sighed. Since she already knew, there was no need to pretend anymore. Congratulations, you guessed right. I am Chen Li. Liu Ruyan looked at you. Then she asked you, when did you recover your memories? Your gaze instantly turned cold. The day you pushed me down. You gave a self-deprecating smile. Speaking of which, I should thank you. If it weren't for your heartlessness, I might not have recovered my memories by now. Liu Ruyan's expression immediately soured. Chen Fan, do you have to be so thorny when talking to me? You retorted bluntly. I don't need to be that nice to a soon-to-be ex-wife. Anger instantly flared in Liu Ruyan's eyes. She suddenly slammed the car to a stop by the road. Chen Fan, I can withdraw the divorce application at any time. You got anxious upon hearing this. Liu Ruyan, don't you dare do something so outrageous. You were the one who asked for the divorce, and now you want to backtrack? What do you take me for? Unexpectedly, she leaned back in her seat, calm and composed. You slept with me. Don't you want to take responsibility? You laughed out of anger on the spot. I paid for it, even though it was only 9.9. It was still money. Liu Ruyan's face turned as black as a pot bottom. This damned man. She suddenly grabbed your shoulder and pressed you into the seat. Chen Fan, what do you take me for? A sharp pain shot through your shoulder. You gasped coldly. Liu Ruyan froze, suddenly noticing a warm wetness in her palm. She looked down. Her hand was covered in blood. You're injured. Her heart felt like it was being squeezed hard. Her voice was filled with anxiety. You coldly brushed her hand away. It's nothing. Just a small wound. Just a graze from a bullet. Hardly worth mentioning. Bleeding this much. And you call it a small wound? Liu Ruyan was both worried and distressed. She immediately started the car to go to the hospital. No hospital. I can handle this small wound myself. The car finally entered a private villa. Liu Ruyan directly ordered the servants to call a doctor. No need for a doctor. Just bring the first aid kit. I'll handle it myself. Soon the servant brought the first aid kit. You revealed the wound on your shoulder. You skillfully disinfected it and stopped the bleeding. The wound wasn't deep, so it didn't need stitches. Let me. But Liu Ruyan picked up the gauze and sat down beside you. She gently wrapped the gauze around the wound, layer by layer. But her gaze, unintentionally, fell on the kiss marks on your neck and collarbone. Those were the marks she had left last night. You noticed her gaze. What are you looking at? Hurry up and bandage it. The corners of Liu Ruyan's mouth lifted. After helping you bandage the wound, she even buttoned your clothes for you. Then she suddenly said, Chen Fan, let's not get divorced, okay? You froze on the spot. What kind of joke was she making? But she stared at you with a completely serious expression. She said, righteous and confident, we slept together last night, so you have to take responsibility for me. You sneered. I never begged you to save me. Wasn't it you who couldn't control yourself? So you took out your phone and leaned back in the chair. Name your price. Liu Ruyan's face instantly darkened like the bottom of a pot. But you kept raising the stakes. 50,000? 100,000, or 200,000. Seeing her glare at you, you deliberately crossed your legs, with a look of disgust. Even the most expensive night in Jing City is only a little over 100,000. And 200,000 still isn't enough for you? The veins on Liu Ruyan's forehead throbbed. She hadn't expected you to treat her like a prostitute, but you kept stabbing at her heart. Besides, if we don't divorce, what about your white moonlight? Are you, a woman, trying to keep the red flag flying at home, while keeping colorful flags outside? Nonsense. Her face was full of black lines. Then she threw out a bombshell. The last news was wrong. We didn't find He. The smile on your face froze instantly. So that was it. So she hadn't found her white moonlight, and that was why she suddenly changed her mind about the divorce. You suddenly stood up, rage surging straight to your head. Liu Ruyan, I, Chen Fan, am not your lapdog to summon and dismiss at will. That's not what I meant. Then what do you mean? Liu Ruyan's face flushed red. Just as she was about to argue with you, the phone rang at that exact moment. It was Chu Youyu. You shoved Liu Ruyan away. As soon as the call connected, Chu Youyu's frantic voice rushed over. Xiao Fan, something happened. Your grandfather was taken. With a boom, your mind went blank. Grandpa was taken? What exactly happened? Anyone who could take him from Chu Youyu was definitely not simple. Only when I reached the airport did I discover that the ambulance carrying old Master Chen had been swapped out halfway. Check the surveillance right now. You were burning with anxiety. But before you could finish speaking, Liu Ruyan snatched the phone away. She said coldly into the phone, no need to check. The next second, she looked straight at you. Word by word. I was the one who had old Master Chen taken away. He is already on a flight to Jing City. You froze where you stood. Then a wave of rage shot straight to your head. You grabbed the cup on the table and smashed it at her. Liu Ruyan, what are you trying to do to my grandfather? Because the movement was too big. The wound on your shoulder split open instantly. The pain made you suck in a sharp breath. Liu Ruyan dodged easily. Seeing you in pain, she actually tried to support you with concern and help you sit down. You grabbed her collar. You viciously warned her, Liu Ruyan, if you dare touch my grandfather, I will never let you off. Instead of getting angry, she smiled. Relax. Your grandfather is my grandfather. How could I harm him? I've already arranged a top medical team. Once he arrives in Jing City, he'll receive the best treatment. You clenched your fists tightly and glared at her. Liu Ruyan, what exactly do you want? The smile at the corner of her mouth deepened. It carried a trace of wicked charm. I said it earlier. I don't want a divorce. You understood instantly. She had long sensed that if you left this time, you would never come back. So, she used your grandfather to threaten you. This damn woman. You were so angry your whole body trembled. You squeezed the words through gritted teeth. A forced melon isn't sweet. But she looked at you calmly. Her tone left no room for doubt. Whether it's sweet or not, you have to pick it and taste it first. You were left speechless by her retort. How could this woman be so shameless? A wave of irritation surged in your chest. Suit yourself. If we're not divorcing, then we're not divorcing. At worst, we'll just clash. Who's afraid of whom? I want to see how long this interest of yours in me will last. Since she wants to play, I'll play along with her until the end. You look at her and present your conditions. My grandfather was poisoned with a slow-acting toxin. You must find the best doctor to treat him. Liu Ruyan looked shocked. The old man was poisoned with a slow-acting toxin. She obviously only knew that the Chen family claimed. Your grandfather suffered a stroke and was paralyzed. You spoke slowly and deliberately. Liu Ruyan listened. If anything happens to my grandfather, I'm not done with you. She immediately grabbed your hand. There was actually a hint of seriousness in her eyes. Don't worry, I'll arrange for the best specialists. You're hungry, right? What would you like to eat? Whatever, you replied dismissively. But secretly, you quickly sent a location to Chu Youyu, asking her to come pick you up. Who would have thought that Liu Ruyan would personally cook a health porridge, and even made a few side dishes. While eating, she suddenly asked a question that made your heart skip a beat. Chen Fan, 2 years ago when you fell off the cliff, did it have anything to do with the Chen family? Maybe. Your eyes flickered momentarily, as you gave a vague answer. Liu Ruyan didn't press further, but her expression was suddenly clouded by a cold gloom. She seemed to have guessed something. After all, once you were dead, the inheritance of the Chen family fell entirely into the hands of the third branch. While she served you food, she suddenly spoke. If you want revenge, I can help you. Such a small matter doesn't need your trouble. You didn't want to owe her a favor. Moreover, when it comes to revenge, you never rely on others. But if you need anything, tell me anytime. You gave a casual response, but you had other plans in mind. Chu Youyu acted quickly. Just as you finished eating, he arrived, but Liu Ruyan gave you no chance to leave. Chen Fan, as long as we haven't filed for divorce, we are still a legal couple. You sat on the bed, a wicked smile curling on your lips. Why don't we do something a legal couple should do in a bit? Based on past experience, the more proactive you are, the more she will dislike you. To your surprise, she leaned down, trapping you between her arms. No need to wait until later. If you want it, I can satisfy you right now. You were instantly stunned, quickly backing away. I was just joking. My old waist still hurt.